Hey guys, it's Josh. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to have some jostling of the schedules and stuff like that as the staff and I manage figuring out how we're going to cover some of the outages. As you know, I'll be out for some stuff to do with my son's custody next week. So we're going to have some challenges there, and then there could be some potential outages for Melanie as well. So I'm not concerned. The coaching staff has this well in hand, but one of the things that we're going to focus on over the next couple of days is when I'm going to be out, making sure that you guys have some detailed explanations. Not all of you get to see me coach these earlier in the morning or have discussions with me before. So we're going to start going over these, and I'm hoping to make these a little bit of a habit real quickly as we dive in for the rest of the year. So in our warm-up is fairly standard. We're still going to do our area squats and sloth press. I'm noticing those are starting to get back in style. We've been pushing those back into the community, and they've been starting to do those again. So just stay on your athletes. We really want to focus on starting class no later than 1 to 2 minutes at the top of the hour. I'm really trying to push that. I know sometimes in some of my evening classes that slides a little bit, but we just need to keep focused on that. All right. You're going to jump into 2 rounds for tomorrow's workout on Wednesday, the 23rd. It's going to be 2 rounds. You're going to do a 2-minute row, followed by a minute of dumbbell deadlifts, devil press, then a minute of dumbbell alternating snatches, and dumbbell strict press. The purpose of these minutes is not to accumulate hundreds of reps. The purpose of this minute is to allow people to practice with light dumbbell weight to warm up the same movement patterns that they're going to be using in our workout. Your workout is one of my favorite things to do, equal work, equal rest. So bear in mind that what we're trying to do here is just give them an opportunity to move and to have you see them move in that plane. So you'll be able to run through that pretty quick. What I like to do is take the road clock up by the front, and with that road clock, I'll just run 2 minutes, stop it, let them transition to their dumbbell, say go, run that for a minute. Again, I don't reset the clock each time, I just pause it with the middle button and resume. And what that allows me to do is kind of control what they're doing. Light dumbbells on the dumbbell deadlifts, light dumbbells on the devil press. On the devil press, make sure that when you stop the clock and you move into the devil press, teach the devil press. Have them do a couple practice reps and then let them go. During this first round that you run them through, this is where you get to combine teaching the movement and teaching position with explaining what you're going to be doing with the movement itself. You follow alternating dumbbell squat snatches. In the workout, when we get to that, we'll talk about that they're as heavy as possible. The reality is here, I want them to be as light as possible. Everyone have a 5-10 pound dumbbell. Really understand that they need to get as low as they can get, maintaining a good upright torso, good overhead position. Okay. With the alternating dumbbell squat snatches as well, we're trying to get people familiar with those. I'm kind of calling, I think those will be in the open. And if not, something very similar that will require mobility will. From a dumbbell strict press perspective, that's pretty straightforward. Again, warming up for the handstand push-ups. It also allows you to prep them for their scaling options so they can start figuring that out. On the dumbbell squat snatches, what I'm looking for is an athlete to be at parallel. They can have their hand here in front of them or to the side. We're looking for that hand to be straight up overhead. We don't want them turning or dumping to the side. They need to be able to hold an upright position, externally rotated hand locked out right next to the body. If they can't do that, have them hold one hand straight overhead, and that will be how they do that. They can basically mimic pulling the dumbbell with an empty hand from the top and drop into this position to work on feeling what it's like to have one hand overhead in the overhead position. All right. And as you move them through, really coach them on that, have them keep their hand close, have them find that mobility overhead, and really focus on turning that hand when they're overhead to lock in the lat and the chest. So that's what you need to focus on through the warm-up. That should take you, again, you're going to be in the neighborhood of somewhere about 5 to 6 minutes per round on that, along with some teaching. So you're talking about 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of class. You're going to jump right into accessory. That's going to be 8-minute tempo bear crawl. We did these last week. They were 7 minutes. You're going to be in that good cat-cow flat back bear crawl position, and you're going to move one hand, opposite hand and leg forward, touch, and then come back. You're not going to cover distance on the floor. Last week we struggled with about half the people in the classes trying to move and cover the floor, and then half the classes weren't. All you're going to be doing is taking, if you're in that position, your left hand will move forward and your right leg will move forward, then it'll go back to the same position and switch. We're just accumulating time under tension, touching, going back and forth from those positions. Look for good flat backs. Don't let butts come up in the air. Drive them down on that. 3 AMRAPs. This is going to be 5 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. The constant is the monostructural. We're going to be doing 25 and 35 calories, row, bike, or ski. Doesn't matter. They can decide for themselves. That is going to decrease As you go down, we're going to go down by 25 and 18 and 13. As we move on down, that's been calculated based on general output. If folks ask why it's a different number, it's just the overall output in time that I'm trying to get work done in that plane inside that minute. That's where that came from. You're going to go straight into dumbbell into deadlifts. These are going to be regular deadlifts. Give folks a chance to set up before you get kicked off. We're going to go from 40 to 45 to 55% as we go up, or the prescribed weight, whichever is lighter, so it should be pretty straightforward. If someone wants to stick with the same weight for the entire workout for the deadlift, they can. We obviously want to place a premium on position, having a good hinge, hips in a good position. So they should be pretty warmed up after the deadlift. You should spend some time explaining that to them during the warm-up. So make sure that you've explained that to them and then demonstrate that with a PVC during the warm-up. For the first AMRAP, you're going to have 12 deadlifts and handstand push-ups. As you notice down here, we have no goals other than high-quality movement. So the deadlifts, you do 12 and then it'll go straight into handstand push-ups or A-frame or box handstand push-ups. They should be able to accomplish at least 6 reps without taking a break. That's the minimum that I want to see. So again, most of our athletes will probably be doing A-frame. Some will be doing box, but most will be doing that. And then of course, our folks that have handstand push-ups will be able to work with that. Kipping or strict is fair game today. We're not looking again for a goal of reps, or we're looking for quality movement, but you should expect most people to probably get 1, maybe 2 rounds across the board on this. In round 2, after the rest, and I like these because you also run big classes, so if you can just split your class down the middle because of equipment shortages on the rowers or the skier or the bikes, you can split them down the middle. Run it however you like, but make sure they're setting up their next deadlift weight if they are switching actively during their rest minute. As you do 9 leg deadlifts and double press. This is going to be the hardest round for people to do. The deadlift weight goes up, and even if they keep the same deadlift going to a double press, which is essentially a burpee into a deadlift into a kettlebell swing overhead, or a double dumbbell snatch, if you want to think of it that way, make sure that they understand this is going to be challenging. Mentally prepare them for that. Place a premium on keeping the dumbbells in front, keeping the lats and chest tight as they do that swing. A lot of folks like to swing and press. Let's avoid that. Let's have them swing straight up. Most of our athletes aren't strong enough in the GPP classes to press that up overhead like that safely, and they start letting the movement degrade and they kind of miss the point. So let's try and bring some control back in on that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move to round 3. You'll have, the calories will go down. Remind them before the start of the AMRAP, and they're going to do 6 deadlifts, and then they're going to follow with alternating dumbbell snatches. This is as heavy as possible to conform. Again, that's going to be very light. Emphasize to the athletes, this is practice today. This is an opportunity for them to touch this. I've had, in the past when I've done difficult movements like that, I've had the athletes ask, hey, can we just forget the deadlift and can we work on that movement? That's perfectly fine. In fact, if someone's really struggling with that movement, it's the first time they've done it, but they understand the deadlift really well, suggest that they practice that. Also in your class, as I always tell you guys, you own the class that you're in. So if you feel that the athletes would derive more benefit out of just working that, then deep 6 the deadlift in this round and then work the alternate squat and dumbbell snatch. Okay, it's a difficult movement to do. It's also a difficult movement to coach. And so this will give you an opportunity to coach something you normally don't get to. You will be seeing a lot more of these pop up post or during the open and post the open. It's going to be a big regular part of our repertoire, not only because of the mobility that it requires us to have, but also because it's something that we just don't do a lot. And when you start to see people mess with these things more and more and more, it drives that unilateral imbalance and really helps us make them comfortable, flexible, and strong. So those are the notes for tomorrow. The main thing for any of you that get pulled in any of the classes tomorrow, and right now I think the folks on deck are going to be James and Travis. Travis will do his normal 5:30, 6:30. James will be doing 4:30 and 7:30 if needed. I should be back in the gym sometime in the evening and should be able to help with my normal responsibilities, but I do have trial prep tomorrow at 3 o'clock, so I will not be in the gym at 4:30. So James and Travis have that covered. So guys, this is for you two, the support if you need to pull on anyone for some help. Also guys, one last thing on this, I will start trying to do these as much as I possibly can, even if you know other coach other than me is coaching that day. This gives you an opportunity to see how these workouts are structured. Think of them like a coach. Give me feedback on things you'd like to hear and see. I'm going to try and make a better habit of these. I've been toying around with different tools, and I think I'm going to start using YouTube Direct to just basically upload these and not only give the coaches opportunities, but then try and get back to where we're doing videos daily. I've done intermittent videos to see if people pick up on those for the classes, and I think it's something I'm going to go ahead and stick with based on feedback from the membership base. But this is an opportunity for you guys to learn how to coach, give me feedback on things that you see in the programming, understand more of the why behind what we do, and then just go back and reference some things, dig these up. These aren't going to go anywhere. I'm not going to delete them. So if you have any questions, let me know. Appreciate all y'all's help. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you guys on the floor.